Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I am doing my new series in podcast format, so I hope that you can hear me nice and clear. It's a lot easier to just do a voice recording on my phone. And we are looking at the Aries, the Arians. If you haven't seen the dark side of the Aries sign, please go check that video out. I did do a dark-sided series where I covered all 12 of these signs. And today I am doing the second video to the light-sided series, and we're doing the fire signs first in the same order that we did the other series in. And today it's Aries. So I'm going to keep this video as brief as I can. I know that my videos can get a little bit long. And so go get a cup of tea, or, if you're listening and you're around the house cleaning or you're busy in the car, thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in. And we are going to unpack the beauty and the light of the light-sided Aries. Now, before I go on, I want to make this clear that all signs have dark and light, and we are a mixture of both. And that really, when I say dark, that means a shadow side that has not been dealt with, that has not been integrated, that is not aware. And a dark-sided sign really operates from a very low-functioning, unaware, selfish, primal side. And the light side of a sign is mastering darkness, mastering self-awareness, and understanding others outside of self. And this is the Aries. Now, before I go forward into this video, I was very hard on Aries in my dark-sided series. I personally don't have any Aries people in my life on account of them being dark-sided, so I tend to fuck them off when I have enough of an Aries and their energy is too domineering and they're just too dark-sided, they're too selfish, they're too immature, they're too greedy. I cannot be bothered with it. So this is a sign personally that I don't actually have any more in my life. And I'm not hating on Aries because I really love Aries and I have a big appreciation for them. This is a very brave and powerful sign. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, maybe I'm sharing it for the first time, but I have a lot of Aries. I have Aries in my chart, in my nodes, and I have Aries in my chart. So I have fire. People meet me and I'm Scorpio cusp Sag, and they're like, wow, you're like really intense and you're really kind of can be quite outspoken at times and you speak your truth. And I'm like, yeah, fire, hello. Just like the Leos, they can't not be what they are. So, and just like Aries, they can't be not what they are. They must be what we are. We must be what we all are. We cannot be anything other than that. So embrace the chaos, embrace that, and be aware of it too. Now, Aries takes a very bad rap in the Zodiac, in my opinion, from my understanding. They are the most hated sign in the Zodiac. They really are. They are Aries and Gemini probably the most hated, Aries probably second on the list. A dark-sided Aries is a living hell to deal with. A dark-sided Aries will bulldoze their way through life, bulldoze their way through anything, and it's all about me and how much I get and my money, and they just are a nightmare to deal with. And I had an ex 10 years ago who was an Aries, and it was just hell. It took me years to recover from that relationship. So I will say that a lot of people that I meet that are Aries tend to be very guarded or a little bit ashamed about their sign because they know that Aries gets a very bad rap. This is a very brutal and hard and rough sign to deal with. And a lot of them don't like being associated with that archetype. And not all Aries are like that. A lot of them are very sweet, beautiful people. A lot of them are very kind. They have a lot of passion. But if you take one thing out of this video about Aries, I would say, please take this on board. Aries need an outlet to express themselves. Aries need a mission. When an Aries doesn't have a mission to go on, Aries is lost. Okay, so when I meet an Aries that is dark-sided and is all those horrible things that I've talked about, that is because they are so off course in themselves and they have really just been living in a very bestial state. This is a ram. This is an animal that is a very bestial sign, and an Aries must have something to look forward to. Just like the Sagittarian and just like the Leo. Yes, this is a fire sign. Yes, it is more dramatic. Things tend to be more dramatic with the Leos and the Aries. And yes, so Aries tend to be very impulsive and they can jump into things without thinking them through first. So if you are an Aries or you have an Aries moon or you're an Aries Venus, embrace it and understand it. And what you have to do is that raw primal fire that burns everything down, because Mars is a ruling planet of this sign. You have to learn to tame the fire and harness the passion in a way that is productive and proactive, not going to burn everything you touch and leave a trail of destruction, which is what the dark Aries do. Their whole life is just to start this career, have a lot of passion, end that, start something else, that ends, and it's just a never-ending cycle on a loop. A light-sided Aries picks a side, is loyal to that side, because this is a loyal sign. Aries are loyal. That's a great thing about them. And they see things through to the end. And if you can do that, if an Aries can actually complete one simple task to the end, and then another task and add that on and add more tasks, before you know it, the Aries is on the path to channeling their raw primal energy into something that can be beautiful and wonderful. And that's why I love Aries, because we need them. The world needs Aries. Aries is the first sign in the Zodiac. This is a primal cardinal sign, and its energy is not so much mutable. It's not so much malleable. It is very powerful. This is a very powerful being, and they know that. And we can feel that when we're around them, okay? Now, Aries is the child. They are the baby. Like we talked in the dark side of the video, this sign is one of the most insecure signs because it hasn't had the time to go through all of the life cycles to acquire its own sense of self. So that's why the dark side of the Aries is a child, and a child can't understand, or a baby cannot understand other needs outside of its own needs. So it's always just about me and having a tantrum when I don't get what I want. But if an Aries can learn patience, Aries, you're incredible. You guys are unbelievable. And I could have Aries in my life again. I'm always looking for passionate people. And you guys have got passion in spades. It's just oozing out of you. You've got this life force, this thirst for life. The baby's eyes have opened and you can see a whole universe inside of the Aries, in the little baby's eyes. And that's how I see Aries. And as we've mentioned, a lot of the Aries women are basically a very masculine energy in there. A lot of them have a lot of very powerful traits. They are warriors, they're Amazons, and I love that. I love powerful women. I can't handle weak women. And Aries don't like negative, weak people. They hate that. They see people that aren't leaders as weak. And in a way, I kind of agree. They would see, by the way, the opposite of Libra in the chart the opposite of Libra in the chart is Aries. The opposite of Aries is Libra, where Libra can be reserved and quiet and hides behind things at times and indecisive. Aries is like, Leo and Aries are both very much like, this is what I want, let's go get it, let's make this happen, let's get moving, keep it moving. And I love that about them. So if you know an Aries, you've probably been burned by them. That raw energy, Mars tends to destroy things that stand in its way, and that's what the ram does. It charges at things with its horns, and it hits that thing again and again and again and again. Aries' light side is that they are very persistent. They will keep going. This sign doesn't like to stay down long, okay? And this sign has a really forward motion to it. It wants to move forward. It understands things that it can't change. It accepts it and gets on with the show. Where other signs like Virgo at times may not be able to come to terms with reality or accept the truth, Aries deals in truth. Aries deals in absolutes. So you're either for or against an Aries. There's generally no shades of grey in between. And if an Aries feels that you can understand them and you can help them get their needs met, much like a Capricorn, the ram and the goat, very, very goal-orientated sign. They are go-getters. They go out and get shit done. This sign can fuck shit up. And I love that. So if you've gotten past the raw primal aggression, then understand the light-sided Aries, or just Aries in general, is that they are super strong. This is a very strong sign, like strong physically, strong mentally. They have a very strong will that is not easily broken or tampered with. So when I meet them, and you can feel that, like I said, you can see that. You have to be willing to understand that sometimes they don't know their own strength. They don't know just how powerful they are. And the way that they express themselves can be a little bit too rough, a little bit too strong holding, like it can get you in a headlock and not let go, but they don't mean that. Aries is not a malicious sign in general. A light-sided Aries, it's like a baby that's coming to understand its power. It's like a god. It doesn't understand its own power, the power that's given it, until it tests itself. And Aries is about testing and expansion, like the other fire signs are too. They need to go higher and they need to go further and they need to push themselves. And in order to do that, we need resistance to build strength. So I love that. Now, Aries light side is that they are natural leaders. So they like to take charge, even from birth, even as kids at the school project or anything. They're always trying to take a lead. That is a natural enthusiasm, much like the Leo, and that just oozes out of them. And they like to create things. They like to start things. The dark-sided Aries, like I said, they don't finish things. The light-sided Aries will see things through. Now, this sign can be quite abrasive, as we know. And when they walk into the room, they're seen. They're felt, and they need that. This sign, whether light or dark, needs validation. This sign needs to be recognized. This sign in Aries, they do need to be told. They do things. They need to be told that they're good. They need to have an audience. I think all three of the fire signs do in general, but this sign in particular also needs that validation. They need to be. They need, like, say if they do something for you in general, they do expect something in return. They can hold that up and say, hey, I helped you. Can you do this for me because I did that for you? Like, that's something that Aries will do. And that's fair to me. That's not a dark-sided trait. That's something that is true. Like, I helped you, so in turn, help me. Now, a dark-sided Aries wouldn't ask for help. They don't know when to ask for help. Light-sided Aries will recognize their limits and know that they'll do better if they have the help, they have the expertise, and they're able to be given support. Aries needs support. They need to feel that someone's in their side, in their corner at all times. So they are attracted to signs of power, but they tend to override the other person because they need to be the one who feels in control. They need to be the one that needs to feel like they're leading. But secretly, Aries, I think you guys like to be submissive at times too. You would like someone to make the decisions for you as well. So let others make decisions for you. If you go to a restaurant and you've never been there before, say, hey, I've never been here. You've been here before. You order for me, that kind of thing. That would be a lot, like, it would make your life a lot easier than having to, you know what I mean? Like, just let someone, sometimes Aries, you don't always have to be the boss. You don't always have to be in control. So sometimes it's okay to let your guard down a little bit, yeah? That's actually how you're going to get closer to people, Aries. Because when we put walls up, nothing can really get through the wall. We keep everything out, nothing gets through to us, yeah? I've learnt that a lot in my life. Sorry. So yes, the dark side of Aries is a bully. The light side of Aries is a very close friend to have, and they are on your side. And Aries knows that you will do better in life if you choose a side and are loyal to that side. And they know that. So they can come across in a way that is very forward focused. This is an outer sign in the 5th house, that fire energy. So they do care what others think. They do care about how they look. They do, yes, it's important for an Aries to be seen, and they want to be seen in their best light. So this is the sign that will edit how they are perceived publicly. This is a sign that will have the Instagram following where every single square is staged, and it's got to be very inspiring and alluring. Aries would be like the get-rich-quick scheme, also the entrepreneurial soul, starting a business, building a business. That song by Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team's fucking here. Like that, like that kind of thing. They love that. Motivational speaking is very Aries. They just want to come in and light a fire under your ass. And I love that about Aries. I love their speeches. I love their passion when they talk. They have so much passion and enthusiasm, and they expect you to have the same amount of enthusiasm for their job or their chosen field just as much as they do. Yeah. So if they can channel that aggression in themselves into something positive, Aries is awesome. And they also can push your buttons a little bit to get you a bit fired up, because they know that that brings out your passion, which will inspire you to do better as well. And the light-sided Aries will do that. So I hope that made sense. And yeah, so they're basically trailblazers. Aries wants to go where no one else goes. One good thing about Aries that I like about Aries as well is that they tend to have nothing off limits in terms of conversation. So they're not precious. This is not a precious sign. This is not princessy. So if you've got something that might be very like, I'm scared to say it, Aries is not scared to say it. They're very brave. They're very bold. They don't want to talk about bullshit. They don't want to talk about fluff. They want to talk about heavy shit, real shit. And you've got to be down to earth and relatable for an Aries to really encompass that. And they want to see the truth. This sign probably would be very good in the army. They'd be very good in like strategic planning. Like I said, they're warriors, that Mars energy, that warrior energy. They want to get moving, get the mission, go save the hostage, go rescue this, go collect this thing, go up to the top of this, very goal orientated. This is not a sign that would be sitting on the couch watching TV and hanging out. It's not going to happen with an Aries. They get bored really quick and they need to get to the bottom of things quickly. They hate waiting. This sign, waiting, kills an Aries soul, kills their soul. They've got to have constant energy coming through, and they burn out. So it's like a child, like that baby thing where they are like the child of the Zodiac, is that they have these moments of extreme strength and power and courageousness, and then the Aries crashes and burns, and they just need to get some sleep and go to sleep, and then they'll wake up and they'll do it all over again. Then they go to sleep and they wake up and they do it all over again. It's like a yo-yo. That's Aries energy. With the discipline, the Aries can do incredible things. Like this sign would get up in the morning, go for the run, go to the gym, go to yoga, do their thing. They've got that fire and that passion, and they're looking for partners that have that as well. Now, you can't really hold an Aries, much like the Sagittarian. You get to befriend them. They really want companionship, and they want a teammate that's on their side. They want someone that is more of a I don't see the fire signs in general as a sign that easily is like to tie down, because you have to have the same power that they bring in to make them feel validated. And if you can do that, then they will put you through the tests that you need to go through to make sure that you're the one. And that would be, testing where the boundaries are. Now, this is a sign that is also very much built on boundaries and creating boundaries, or they're boundless with an Aries. So they need to know where the fence is to know where the fence is. That's just how they are. So they'll push your buttons to see how far you can go. That way they can know where their limits are with you. Because this sign is about power and domination. And they tend to have a sadomasochistic theme to their life as well. So Aries will tend to have you might even feel sometimes with an Aries that you could be like a bit of an employee to them, even if you're their partner. So the best thing, I see a lot of Aries building businesses with people. I see a lot of Aries starting businesses in their family. So their partners become their work colleagues, which can be quite dangerous at times. Aries will bump heads with everyone. Okay, they tend to. They have this vision in their head about what they want, and they're very focused on that. They're very tightly knit, intensely focused, probably as much as a Scorpio can be when they're focused on something too. And they have that one-track mind. This is where we're going and this is what we're doing. And I like that about a light-sided Aries. There's no filter with Aries. Like I said, anything that you want to talk about, they're happy to bring it up. Let's go there now. Let's go. Come on, let's do it. Like I think of Michael Jordan, let's do it. I think of Nike, the Nike sign, let's do it. That's Aries. They don't know their own strength. And now this sign can be very insecure at times. But in general, they're not malicious and they're not grudge holding. Aries knows that life is short and they just want to keep moving forward, not looking back, so that they can get their goals achieved or move where they want to go and do what they need to do and meet the people that they need to meet. So they're always really interested in kind of tough love approach to life. At times they can be a bit like that. You need a bit of tough love. That's an Aries. And they're no nonsense too. And that's the thing. I just love that you'll know where you stand with them. A dark-sided Aries would be hell to deal with if they were an employee, because they'd always be correcting and challenging the boss. Or if they are the boss, then they're very domineering and very bossy. But if you are a dark-sided Aries and you're listening to this video, then I congratulate you for taking the time to want to improve and learn about yourself more. But I feel like, in life, we have to kind of come to a crossroads where we understand that in ourselves and we're prepared to do that work, where we look at what we can work on and shadow work, which is what I'm making these videos for. So if you're, committed to self-improvement, then you would know sometimes that, you just don't need to clash heads with everyone like that Aries ramming into everything 100 miles per hour. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more gentle and a little bit more receptive and letting others come forward with their ideas and not just railroading them into doing whatever you want to do. So this is a cardinal sign, and I think the term that comes to mind is pop off. This sign pops off. This is a very intense energy that we're dealing with here. And, they are attracted to levels of power and they like to move fast. Aries is very quick. It's quick to do things. So slow and steady wins the race. Not with Aries. Faster, harder, better, stronger. That's the metaphor for the Aries. Recognize me, see me, integrate me. Aries. The water signs are more like internal. The fire signs are more external. So it can kind of be a little bit like act first, think later with an Aries. And in some situations, like in the hero situations, which is what Aries are, they are the paradigm of a hero. They want to come in and save you. Like Xena, warrior princess. Lucy Lawless was an Aries. Fire, warrior princess. Mars, very powerful energy. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Aries. These are little Miss Love to fight. They've got that fiery energy. They'll take on a mountain. They'll protect fiercely what is theirs. I love that. And they have the childlike quality where it's all just fun at the end of the day and don't take things too seriously. A lighthearted Aries can be very funny. They're very comical and they make you laugh a lot. Aries can be a little bit messy, so let's get real. Sometimes their room can be a bit messy. A light-sided Aries will have the discipline to get up, make their bed, almost like you can bounce a penny in the middle of the bed and you can catch it. So yes, so Aries like the challenge, but they don't like being challenged. So they like the challenge of life, but they don't like others challenging them. Capricorn is also very similar to that in that regard. Now, Aries sees sex as a sport. This is a very sporty sign. And I've always admired Aries, the athletes, because so many of them end up in the Olympics. It's unbelievable that a human being can just dedicate their whole life to a sport, dedicate their whole life to working on their craft in their physical body, pushing their body to those extreme limits with a javelin or running or swimming. Very, very competitive energy. And Aries is naturally very competitive. And that's what brings out the best in our spirit, is that someone pushes it and then Aries pushes it further and then someone else pushes it further and the record gets broken and another record breaks that record. And that's kind of how it works in life. That's how we do better. Like, we are naturally competitive. Competition is a good thing. It brings out the best in us. Setting us all on some equal playing level is impossible, because life in itself is not fair, and the construct of life is for it to not be perfect. So we're here because it's imperfect. It's perfect because it's imperfect. Virgo, I'm talking to you when I say that. So yeah, these guys sell houses. They're very good on sales. They're very good in selling high-end things like yachts or houses. They're very good with things like that. This show that have like TV shows. They're very powerful on set. A lot of Aries are directors. They're very good at directing people, like in movies. If they've got a vision, they can really harness people together and bring out the best in their performances. They're very good like that. Now, they can be quite argumentative. Like I said, a light-sided Aries will know when to pick their fights. And like the Sagittarian and the Leo, they don't want to give their energies to things that are wasting time. That's a zero-sum game. Like, if you don't mean anything to an Aries, then Aries isn't going to concern itself with having you see things their way, because they don't care about how you feel, because they don't care about you to begin with. And that's just kind of how I see and see them. But I do admire, and I see this in myself a lot actually, that like trying to get over the fear of things and trying to approach life's challenges head on. And Aries definitely does that. They have a desire to achieve, and they know that conflict brings resolution. So if I have to fight and knock out a few people and knock out a few heads and, straighten things up, then I will. And that is a good thing. Hey, not a bad thing. They have a vivacious energy and enthusiasm for life. So they want an adventure partner like the Sag. You've got to come on an adventure with them. You've got to be very physical. This is a very, very physical soul. And Aries is restless. I've found the moment that they feel comfortable and they've got the house and they've got the kids and they've achieved a goal, they get restless. They get that itchy feet. They've got to go on to something else, and something spontaneous too. They're very, very impulsive. So I like that. It's just like, it's a fun, fresh energy. They'll be doing so many things at one time. And they're very good like that, actually. Like a light-sided Aries can balance a lot of things. It's just that sometimes their over-enthusiasm can be like a bull in a china shop, and it just knocks everything over, but they don't mean it. And also, one thing about Aries is that, say you've said something that's hurt their feelings in a fight with an Aries, they may not show that they feel hurt, but they are. And Aries secretly hates when people are angry at them. It's almost like a child, that child energy where they're scolded and the child sulks. Aries hates sulking, and they don't like feeling down. They don't like being around negative people that, pull them down either. And they have a no regrets kind of approach to life. So a lot of them will have like tattoos that will say no regrets. They know that life is short, and it's too short. It's too short for regret. It really is. You have to just keep the show going and keep on moving. And this is a sign that would get to a certain age and say, I lived. I jumped out of helicopters. I climbed the mountain. I had hot sex. I had really intense relationships with people. I lived life. That's their motto. And I like it. If they are able to share, Aries, learning to share is another thing. Sharing your knowledge, not just wielding power for the sake of it. Sharing your gifts with the world. That's the beauty. That's the light side of an Aries. I know that you guys have an independence. You guys like people that are also independent, unless they're under your control. Aries hates law and authority. They're very rebellious against any type of thing that's kind of like holding something over them. They don't like that, and they don't like other people having something held over them either. They also have a thing where they want to rush you to get to the point. They'll finish your sentence a little bit, like I said in the dark-sided series. So a light-sided Aries is a little bit more slow, a little bit more chill. Let people finish their sentence. Don't need to bulldoze. Let them have their moment, just like they let you have your moment. Don't interrupt. Let them go. But they are the baby and they're learning, and that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, their approach to life is the beauty of an Aries. I often think Aries is just such a dynamic, it's like a roller coaster. It's super highs, super lows, and just this fierce warrior energy. They're going to get up and fight and go to bat for you. And I love that about them. They're ready for battle. They're battle ready. They're born with the sword in their hand. They're the pioneers. They'll cut through the jungle with the sword first and pave the way. I love that Aries is not concerning itself or has no interest in things that have already been done. This sign is interested in what is not done, and they're very progressive like that. So they'll look back in the past and go, yeah, they did that, but I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to go this way and I'm going to make it work. And that takes a lot of bravery. This is a very brave sign to go out into the unknown, into the dark, and find your own way. It is very admirable. Now, they do have a very big temper. Aries can, when they explode, it's very explosive. But after the explosion is over, it's done. We can all move forward. Everyone's on the same path. Well, hopefully they haven't mortally wounded too many people, because the dark Aries leaves a trail of destruction. But yes, if we can all move forward, they said their piece. That's another great thing about the Aries, is that they're not afraid to speak their truth. Like if this sign will be vocal about how they feel, and they are good at communicating. Aries is a good communicator. I find for the most part, they are good communicators, particularly if they've got a lot of Libra in their chart as well, or Gemini, a good communicator. And they have that thing of kind of pushing people and getting you out of your comfort zone, getting you out of your hermit shell, and getting you into your higher self, encouraging others to be independent. And when an Aries believes in you, it's a really, really wonderful thing, because I feel like it's easier for you to believe in you when someone else believes in you first. And when an Aries sees you and wants to encourage you, it's a really beautiful thing, because the best gift you can give someone is to teach them how to fish for themselves, is to be independent enough to go out into the world on your own and not be too reliant on everyone else, and find your own way. And that is trial by fire. It's a lot of bravery and ups and downs, but that is the beauty of the Aries. So they are very supportive, very dedicated to their mission. And the kind of the motto of Aries would be, the mission is what matters. The mission is what matters. Once they've got their mission and they're on their mission, then you just let them do their thing and stay out of their way and let them find what they're looking for, because that's how they are. That's just how they are. And let them go where they need to go, and let them do what they need to do with their own honesty. They can suss out a lie. Aries are very good at detecting lies. They do get hurt very easily, like a child, but they pick themselves up and keep on going. And I think that's just like a really good thing there, is just their resilience. They can be brutal, but they're not aware of that brutality. And that's something that I've come to understand about an Aries. And times when I'm really down, I wish I had an energy like an Aries around me sometimes, because they will give me that motivational speech, or they will sit with me and hold me. And then after a while, we're like, okay, we're going out now. Okay, we're going to go shopping now. We're going to get out of the house. We're going to go for that run. And they have a good way of getting me out of my own kind of funk in a way. Although I don't have any Aries in my life now, I'm open to Aries if they are mature. By the way, this sign also doesn't mature until they get into their 30s and 40s. And for the men, sometimes it's even in their 50s that they'll start thinking about planting roots and settling down properly. But up until then, Aries, they're just so sexual. Like, this is a very sexual and intense sign. Aries women are very powerful, domineering. And we looked at the dark side of the Aries woman in my dark video, so go check that out. But the natural risk taker is the beauty of an Aries, just being prepared to step out into the unknown and not looking backwards. This sign doesn't tend to want to dwell on the past. That's one thing. See, Scorpio does, or Sagittarian will dwell on the past because it's like a way of learning and teaching ourselves how to improve. But one of the downer sides of an Aries is that they don't tend to want to look back where they've been. They just want to see where they're going. And it can be a positive or a negative thing. But yes, I do like Aries, contrary to what people might think. I really do. And we need more of them. And I would be happy to let an Aries into my life and open up to exploring that if they are, light-sided, like I said, and, building something beautiful with them. So that is the light side of the Aries. I hope that I think I covered quite a bit in this video. I've enjoyed talking about the Aries. It's been fun. Light-sided Aries, enthusiasm, passion, fire, intensity, and they've got that twinkle in their eye and that yang energy, the masculine energy that charges through life and wants to get things done, get things moving. And I need that, I love doing that. You guys are the best for that, and, if you're loyal and we can be friends, then if you're an Aries out there, please reach out and say hi. So I hope that you've liked this video. Thank you so much for tuning into my shorter podcast today on Aries, the light side. Next, we will be looking at the Leo, the light side, Leo, the lion. Our cuddly lion is next. And I will see you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you know an Aries that might want to hear this, or you know someone, let me know. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about Aries? Do you have an Aries in are you a sun Aries, or are you a moon Aries? I want to know. I want to know all about you. All right. Thank you for tuning in. And come and find me on Instagram, and lots of love and light to you. This was Aries, the light side. Bye.